Hi friends! We got invited to our first movie premiere, which was a real honor and pretty exciting. It was for the film Moses the Black, which was written and directed by a good friend of ours, Yelena Popovic. In this video, I'll take you along as we prepare for and attend this black carpet movie premiere. Welcome to the Dress Up Mom! We've known Yelena Popovic for a long time, about 25 years, and we have so enjoyed watching her evolve into such a talented filmmaker. We've also seen firsthand what a struggle it is and what a labor of love her work is. Yelena is a deeply spiritual person and a true believer. We always feel more at peace, centered, inspired, and generally feeling better after we spend time with her. She is also very smart, a good storyteller, and has vision. Once she feels she is meant to create something, there is no stopping her, no matter how difficult or challenging it becomes. She received critical acclaim for her 2021 film, Man of God, which brings to life the incredible true story of Saint Nectarius of Aegina, Greece. This is such a beautiful film. She is inspired by saints and feels their presence. For her next project, she set out to tell the story of 4th century saint Moses the Black. To do the story justice, she made it a modern crime drama starring Omar Epps as Malik, a Chicago gang leader seeking redemption after prison. It also features Wiz Khalifa and Quavo in supporting roles. Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson, is a producer of the film. Without going into too much detail, it took a lot to get this movie made. Yelena considers it pretty much a miracle. We've been encouraging her and following her progress on it for years. We were so thrilled when she was finally able to shoot and complete the film. We were overjoyed when we got the invitation to the premiere, a black carpet event. Since we had never attended anything like this before, I wanted to make sure that we were dressed appropriately. In researching it, I learned that a black carpet movie premiere is a high-profile celebrity event similar to a red carpet premiere, but with a more sleek or culturally specific vibe. I was convinced that we could put together the right looks by not buying anything new and using what we already had. I'm happy to report that we succeeded. My son gave me the idea of incorporating my headpiece handmade by a really cool woman in France. I thought my vintage Marion Clayton dress would work well. I bought it resale at Hayden Hanger and really love it. It's comfy too. Since I knew it could be a bit chilly, I played around with a few wraps and decided on a vintage one from The Way We Wore. It ended up being really cold in the theater, so I was glad I had it. I added shoes made in France in the 1980s that used to be my mom's. She would wear them whenever she went somewhere special. They bring back fond memories. Finally, my purse is vintage Yves Saint Laurent I bought resale at Relove. I really do believe in laying it all out a week before a big event, trying everything on and making sure it's the way that you want it. Then on to Doug's look. We started with his classic black Brooks Brothers suit and played around with a few different options, including a pair of shoes from Artemis Design Co. made out of vintage Turkish rugs. We ended up toning down the suit with a Buck Mason top and wearing it with a pair of black dress shoes. Our son gave us the idea of adding a brooch to his lapel to make it more fashion forward. We used a vintage one that used to be my mom's. I was really happy with what we came up with. Since West Hollywood is about 2.5 hours away from where we live without traffic, we decided to go up there a day before, spend the night, and make a little getaway trip out of it. I'm so glad we did. It was really relaxing, enjoyable, and like no stress getting ready and getting to the event. We weren't sure what exactly would be happening when we got to the premiere. The invitation said it started at 6 o'clock. We took an Uber and arrived at about 6:15. The first thing we saw were photographers, videographers, and media lining a black carpet with bright lights and a step and repeat backdrop for the film. Our beautiful friend Yelena was making her way down a line giving interviews. Other cast members, creators, and special guests were doing the same. It was very excited to see people like Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Omar Epps, Wiz Khalifa, and others on the black carpet. This went on for about 90 minutes. In the meantime, there were several bars, past appetizers, and a lounge area with a DJ. Lots of props and posters for the movie all around. Very high energy and lots of good people watching. At about 8 o'clock, we all started getting seated in the theater, and Yelena and Curtis made opening remarks. The screening started around 8:30. What a powerful piece of work. It was intense and exposed me to a world I'm not familiar with. There were some parts I didn't entirely understand, but the overall message came through loud and clear. The acting was superb. The look, feel, and sound of the movie was also captivating. I thought about it for days, and it inspired me to find out more and look into the story of Saint Moses the Black. So overall, it was fun, interesting, and a long night, way past our bedtime. The dress code was all over the place, but I think we chose the right things to wear and definitely felt like we fit in. I hope the movie does well and that it helps people the way Yelena intends it to do. She's already talking to us about her next project, so who knows, maybe there's another movie premiere in our future. Have you seen either Man of God or Moses the Black? If so, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time, have fun and dress it up a little. If you're already a subscriber, thank you and I love you. If you haven't subscribed, please do and tap the bell for notifications.